Week, she reached where no one else did. For 3 months, the competitive swimmers at Oceanview Athletic Club had watched Elena, rookie, Martinez struggle through daytime training sessions. Assuming her trembling hands during pool entries meant fear of deep water rather than recognizing symptoms of post-traumatic stress that surfaced whenever chlorine scents triggered memories of underwater combat operations where she had planted explosives beneath enemy vessels in hostile Middle Eastern harbors. They witnessed her cautious approach to diving blocks and hesitant starts during morning practices, mistaking calculated movements for inexperience rather than understanding that her body automatically assessed water conditions with precision learned during covert Navy SEAL insertions where miscalculation meant death in enemy-controlled waters where patrol boats hunted American divers. What they couldn't see beneath her modest one-piece swimsuit and civilian club membership was a network of surgical scars across her shoulders and back, marking where shrapnel had torn through her wetsuit during an underwater demolition mission that went catastrophically wrong when her 6-person team encountered unexpected Iranian patrol boats while attempting to neutralize submarine communications equipment in the Persian Gulf. Martinez had joined the civilian swimming club not because she needed to learn basic strokes, but because her medical retirement following 8 years of underwater combat deployments had left her struggling with panic attacks that surfaced during daylight swimming. While seeking therapeutic exercise that might restore confidence shattered during that final mission where 3 of her teammates didn't surface from the dark waters off the Iranian coast. The scars themselves told stories that exceeded civilian comprehension, as each mark commemorated specific underwater operations where her demolition expertise had neutralized enemy installations beneath warships, submarine bases, and strategic port facilities during missions so classified that her achievements remained buried in special access programs that would never acknowledge her service to the American people. Her decision to swim only during evening hours stemmed from understanding that darkness provided psychological comfort similar to night operations when visibility was limited and success depended on muscle memory developed through thousands of hours of underwater training. While avoiding crowded daytime sessions where curious glances at her scars might trigger questions about military service that required continued medical treatment and intensive trauma counseling sessions twice weekly. The therapeutic swimming routine had become her lifeline during the difficult transition from active military service to civilian life, where former Navy SEALs struggled to find purpose and meaning outside the brotherhood of special operations, while dealing with survivor guilt that haunted her dreams and made normal social interactions feel impossible most days. Welcome to Silent Salute, where we reveal how America's most elite underwater warriors sometimes transition to civilian pools while carrying invisible reminders of classified missions. Their extraordinary aquatic skills hidden beneath therapeutic swimming routines, while their combat-tested abilities remain dormant until recognition moments that transform entire athletic communities and remind us that heroes walk among us every day. Before we share this incredible story of hidden valor that shocked an entire swim club and changed everyone's understanding of true strength, tell us in the comments about a time when you discovered someone's secret military background that completely changed your understanding of their capabilities and the battles they fought overseas. And if you believe that our most decorated veterans often train without recognition while processing combat experiences through activities that help heal both body and mind from wounds that civilian eyes cannot see, hit that subscribe button to support our mission of honoring those whose classified courage continues inspiring others through service that transcends military requirements and reminds us that freedom isn't free. Oceanview Athletic Club operated as premium fitness facility where competitive swimmers trained for regional championships and Olympic trials, supported by world-class coaching staff whose expertise enabled member success through structured training programs and technique refinement that prepared athletes for high-level competition at state, national, and international levels where split-second timing determined victory or defeat. The facility itself represented cutting-edge aquatic training technology, featuring Olympic-standard 50-meter pools with precision timing systems, underwater cameras for stroke analysis, and specialized training equipment that enabled swimmers to develop championship-level capabilities through scientifically designed conditioning protocols that pushed human performance to its absolute limits. Coach David Stroke Thompson managed club swimming programs with professional dedication that ensured training standards met demanding requirements of competitive athletes whose performance goals demanded precise technique development and conditioning protocols that built championship-level capabilities through disciplined training regimens that separated serious competitors from recreational swimmers. Thompson's own background included collegiate swimming championships and Olympic trial qualifications, providing him with technical expertise that enabled him to recognize natural talent and identify swimmers whose capabilities exceeded their current performance levels, making his confusion about Martinez's obvious skills even more puzzling to club members who respected his judgment. The evening swimming sessions attracted recreational swimmers seeking quieter training environments away from the intensity of daytime competitive groups, while providing pool access for members whose work schedules or personal preferences required alternative training times that allowed focused concentration without the distractions and crowded lane conditions that characterized peak hours. These nighttime sessions had developed their own community culture, where regular participants formed informal support networks that encouraged fitness goals while maintaining relaxed atmosphere that welcomed swimmers of all ability levels without the competitive pressure that dominated daytime training groups. Martinez, you've been attending evening sessions for months without participating in our competitive training groups or expressing interest in structured coaching that could develop your obvious technical abilities, Coach Thompson said during one evening session, his curiosity finally overcoming professional restraint. Your swimming form shows technical competence that exceeds most recreational swimmers, but your hesitation during starts and apparent anxiety about competitive pressure suggests psychological barriers that might be addressed through proper coaching support. Are you interested in joining structured training that could develop whatever athletic background prepared you for this level of technique and underwater capability? Martinez continued her methodical warm-up laps with precision learned during actual underwater operations where controlled breathing and efficient movement had meant survival during covert missions that required approaching enemy targets without detection. Understanding that proper stroke technique enabled endurance during extended underwater approaches where oxygen conservation could determine mission success or catastrophic failure. Her swimming style reflected military training that emphasized efficiency over speed, endurance over power, and psychological control over competitive instincts, creating technique that appeared effortless while concealing the combat-tested capabilities that had enabled her to complete underwater missions in conditions that would challenge Olympic-level swimmers. Coach, controlled swimming builds cardiovascular fitness while providing therapeutic exercise that supports recovery goals and helps maintain physical conditioning. Martinez replied carefully, her response revealing nothing about the extensive rehabilitation process that had helped her transition from active duty to civilian life. These evening sessions offer training opportunities that meet my current fitness requirements without competitive pressure that might interfere with rehabilitation objectives and personal wellness goals that require gradual progress rather than intensive training. Senior club member Sarah Distance Chun, whose own competitive background included college swimming championships and masters-level competition, couldn't understand why Martinez demonstrated such advanced technique while consistently avoiding daytime competitive sessions that would showcase her obvious swimming capabilities and potentially lead to coaching opportunities or competitive recognition. Shin had competed at national levels and possessed technical knowledge that enabled her to recognize exceptional swimming ability, making her growing curiosity about Martinez's background both professional and personal as she witnessed capabilities that seemed inconsistent with recreational membership status. Martinez, your stroke mechanics and underwater efficiency suggest competitive swimming background that exceeds recreational fitness goals and indicates specialized training that most swimmers never achieve, Chin observed during one evening session, her tone reflecting genuine professional interest rather than casual curiosity. Most members need extensive coaching to develop technique that you demonstrate naturally, but you consistently avoid training groups where your skills would contribute to team development and competitive preparation. Have you considered that your abilities might inspire other swimmers while helping you process whatever background prepared you for this level of aquatic expertise? Martinez's response reflected understanding gained from military aquatic training, where technique precision had supported special operations missions, knowing that her Navy background provided stroke efficiency that enhanced performance while maintaining conditioning standards required for operational readiness that could mean life or death during actual combat operations. Her military training had included not just swimming technique, but comprehensive underwater combat skills that encompassed everything from silent approach methods to explosive placement under hostile conditions, creating capabilities that extended far beyond civilian swimming and into realms of expertise that few people could imagine. Effective swimming depends on technique development that enables endurance training and cardiovascular fitness that supports overall wellness goals. Martinez responded, maintaining her careful privacy about military service while acknowledging the observation. Whether you're training for competition or personal fitness, stroke efficiency serves conditioning requirements that demand precision and consistent practice rather than competitive pressure that might compromise rehabilitation objectives. The curiosity intensified when club members noticed Martinez's apparent comfort during extended underwater swimming and breath-holding exercises that exceeded normal recreational capabilities, leading to speculation about her background and previous training that might explain her exceptional aquatic abilities and psychological comfort with challenging underwater conditions. Her underwater performance particularly attracted attention because she demonstrated capabilities that suggested specialized training in breath control, underwater navigation, and psychological comfort with low oxygen conditions that exceeded what most competitive swimmers achieved through normal training programs. Competitive swimmer Mike Butterfly Rodriguez, whose own training included advanced underwater technique development and breath-holding exercises, organized informal observations designed to assess whether Martinez's apparent skills represented actual competitive experience or exceptional natural ability, combined with dedicated training that had developed extraordinary underwater capabilities. Rodriguez possessed technical expertise that enabled him to recognize advanced aquatic skills, having trained with former Olympic swimmers and military rescue personnel who had shared insights about specialized underwater techniques that exceeded normal competitive swimming capabilities. Martinez, your underwater swimming and breath control suggest specialized aquatic training that exceeds recreational fitness preparation and indicates background in technical diving or military aquatic programs, Rodriguez observed during one evening session, his professional curiosity overcoming social restraint. If your background includes competitive or specialized experience, you should understand training methods that prepare swimmers for advanced underwater technique and endurance development that most recreational swimmers never attempt. Martinez recognized the questioning as professional interest rather than intrusive interrogation, understanding that competitive swimmers developed bonds based on shared training experience, while maintaining natural curiosity about members whose capabilities couldn't be verified through normal competitive channels or coaching relationships. Her response required careful balance between acknowledging their professional interest and protecting the privacy that her therapeutic recovery demanded, while avoiding lies that might complicate future interactions with people who were becoming her primary social support network during civilian transition. Rodriguez, underwater work requires controlled breathing and efficient technique that supports extended swimming sessions and cardiovascular development, Martinez replied, her military training enabling her to provide technical answers without revealing classified background. These capabilities develop through consistent practice and attention to technique refinement that emphasizes efficiency rather than speed or competitive performance. The speculation escalated when evening session participants began questioning Martinez's apparent overqualification for recreational swimming, leading to discussions about her motivations for avoiding competitive opportunities that seemed inconsistent with her obvious technique and aquatic competence that suggested professional or military background. These conversations occurred during informal socializing after swimming sessions, when members shared coffee and discussed training goals, competitive experiences, and personal fitness journeys that had brought them to the club, creating community atmosphere that made Martinez's privacy about her background increasingly noticeable. Club manager Janet Admin Foster, whose responsibility for member services included ensuring appropriate program placement and maximizing member satisfaction through suitable training opportunities, joined speculation about Martinez's background and reasons for limiting participation to evening recreational sessions that appeared to underutilize her apparent capabilities. Foster possessed administrative knowledge about member backgrounds and training preferences that enabled her to identify unusual patterns in program utilization, making Martinez's situation particularly puzzling because her obvious skills suggested competitive interests that weren't reflected in her membership activities. I've noticed Martinez handles advanced swimming techniques with unusual competence for recreational member, demonstrating underwater abilities and stroke efficiency that suggest background exceeding normal fitness training, Foster confided to Coach Thompson during staff meeting. Her underwater abilities and psychological comfort with challenging conditions indicate specialized training, but she's never mentioned competitive or specialized aquatic experience during membership registration and program consultation. Should we be doing more to encourage her participation in competitive programs that might better utilize her obvious capabilities? The rumors spread throughout evening sessions, with members increasingly viewing Martinez as mysteriously skilled swimmer whose apparent expertise raised questions about her actual background and reasons for avoiding competitive programs that seemed beneath her obvious capabilities and technical knowledge that suggested professional training. These discussions created atmosphere of respectful curiosity rather than intrusive speculation, as evening session participants had developed supportive community culture that encouraged personal privacy while celebrating individual achievements and fitness progress regardless of competitive aspirations or background experience. Coach Thompson, whose responsibility for program development had been enhanced by Martinez's apparent aquatic expertise and his growing recognition that she possessed capabilities that exceeded most club members, decided that direct inquiry might reveal information that would explain her unusual competence and help determine appropriate training utilization that could benefit both Martinez and other club members. His professional experience had taught him to recognize exceptional talent and identify swimmers whose backgrounds included specialized training that could enhance club programs, making his decision to approach Martinez both professionally motivated and personally curious about the story behind her obvious expertise. Martinez, I'm curious about your aquatic background and training that prepared you for this level of swimming technique and underwater capability, Thompson said during private conversation after evening session, his tone reflecting professional respect rather than casual curiosity. Your performance exceeds recreational capabilities, and your comfort with underwater work suggests experience that might be better utilized in competitive programs requiring advanced aquatic skills. Would you be interested in sharing your background so we can discuss training opportunities that might better serve your goals? Martinez understood the implications of Coach Thompson's inquiry, but chose not to reveal military aquatic service that would complicate her membership status while potentially triggering medical discussions about combat trauma and ongoing therapeutic requirements that she wasn't ready to discuss with civilian athletic community. Her decision reflected careful consideration of privacy needs that protected her therapeutic recovery while maintaining social connections that had become an important part of her transition to civilian life. Understanding that revelation of military service might change relationship dynamics in ways that could compromise her healing process. Coach, my aquatic experience has prepared me for fitness swimming that supports current wellness goals and rehabilitation objectives, Martinez replied carefully, maintaining privacy while acknowledging his professional interest. These evening sessions provide training opportunities that meet my current needs without competitive pressure that might interfere with personal recovery goals that require gradual progress rather than intensive training demands. The night that would expose Martinez's hidden identity began during club's annual Midnight Challenge swim event, where members attempted various distance and technique challenges in darkened pool conditions that simulated night swimming experiences and tested psychological comfort with low-visibility aquatic environments that challenged most recreational swimmers. This special event had become popular tradition that attracted both competitive and recreational members, creating unique training opportunity that tested swimming skills under conditions that exceeded normal pool environments while building community spirit through shared challenge experience. The event included comprehensive distance challenges that examined member endurance and technique under challenging visibility conditions, enabling participants to experience night swimming while testing psychological comfort with darkness and limited visual reference during extended swimming sessions that required mental toughness and technical precision. Lighting conditions were systematically reduced throughout evening to create progressive challenge levels, starting with normal illumination and gradually transitioning to minimal lighting that simulated real-world night swimming conditions where swimmers must rely on technique memory and psychological comfort rather than visual references. Challenge coordinator Lisa Knight Williams supervised individual attempts with safety protocols that ensured participant welfare while maintaining challenging conditions. Her own background, including open water swimming and rescue training that prepared her to recognize exceptional aquatic capabilities and identify swimmers whose skills exceeded normal recreational levels. Williams possessed technical expertise that enabled her to evaluate swimming performance under challenging conditions, having competed in open water events, and worked with military rescue personnel who had shared insights about swimming capabilities that exceeded normal civilian training. The pool lighting system included graduated controls that could simulate various night conditions, from twilight visibility to complete darkness that challenged even experienced swimmers, creating testing environment that revealed true aquatic capabilities and psychological comfort with demanding swimming conditions. Tonight's challenge will test your swimming abilities under conditions that exceed normal pool environments, Williams announced to participants gathered around darkened pool. We'll progress through various lighting levels that simulate real-world night swimming, requiring technique memory and psychological comfort that separate recreational swimmers from those with specialized training backgrounds. Martinez had initially planned to participate only in early lighting phases, understanding that complete darkness might trigger combat memories while potentially exposing capabilities that she preferred to keep private, but found herself continuing through progressive challenge levels as other participants struggled with conditions that felt comfortable due to her military background. Her comfort with darkness and low visibility conditions reflected extensive night operation training where mission success had depended on swimming silently through hostile waters without detection, creating psychological adaptation that made civilian night swimming feel routine rather than challenging. Williams was supervising Martinez's distance attempt during advanced lighting phase, when total pool lighting failure created complete darkness throughout facility, revealing swimming capabilities that immediately attracted attention and raised questions about her actual aquatic background and specialized training history that enabled such exceptional performance. The unexpected equipment failure created testing conditions that exceeded planned challenge parameters, requiring participants to navigate pool entirely through technique memory and spatial awareness that challenged even experienced swimmers, while providing Martinez with environment that felt familiar due to combat training. Martinez, your performance in complete darkness demonstrates navigation and technique that suggests specialized night swimming training and psychological comfort that indicates military or professional rescue background rather than recreational swimming experience, Williams observed with professional amazement, her technical expertise enabling her to recognize capabilities that exceeded normal civilian training. Martinez realized that equipment failure had exposed aquatic skills that she had been concealing for therapeutic reasons, understanding that her special operations swimming capabilities would trigger questions about her transition to civilian recreation and medical issues that had ended her military diving career, while forcing her to confront privacy decisions she wasn't ready to make. The swimming technique that Coordinator Williams observed represented years of special operations aquatic training that included underwater navigation, extended breath holding, stroke efficiency, and psychological comfort, with challenging conditions recognizable to any aquatic professional familiar with military diving and combat swimming operations that prepared SEALs for hostile environment missions. Her performance in complete darkness had revealed not just swimming ability, but comprehensive underwater combat skills that encompass silent approach techniques, underwater orientation without visual references, and psychological adaptation to hostile conditions that enabled mission success when detection meant death. Coach Thompson, summoned to observe the discovered capabilities and evaluate the situation that had unexpectedly revealed exceptional aquatic skills, immediately recognized Martinez's technique as characteristic of military combat swimmers whose training exceeded anything available in civilian programs. understanding that her member file had somehow failed to document extensive aquatic service that exceeded most club capabilities. His professional experience had included working with former military swimmers whose transition to civilian athletics had required sensitivity to combat backgrounds and therapeutic needs, enabling him to recognize signs of specialized military training that exceeded normal competitive swimming preparation. Williams, document these swimming capabilities and request information about this member's aquatic background. Thompson instructed, his professional judgment recognizing that Martinez's performance indicated specialized training that represented military or professional rescue experience rather than recreational fitness swimming. Her technique and darkness performance suggest specialized training that exceeds our normal member capabilities and might require different program approaches. The verification process that followed Martinez's recognition revealed her actual military service record as decorated Navy SEAL, whose combat deployments had included classified underwater operations throughout multiple theaters. While her medical retirement documentation explained transition from active duty to therapeutic civilian swimming that supported her psychological recovery and physical rehabilitation. Military records review disclosed extent of her underwater combat service that included demolition operations against enemy vessels, reconnaissance missions in hostile harbors, and special operations insertions that had required swimming capabilities far exceeding anything available through civilian training programs. Coach Thompson, learning about Martinez's classified military diving qualifications and combat swimming experience, realized that his club had unknowingly enrolled a decorated special operations diver whose aquatic expertise exceeded all club members and coaching staff while representing pinnacle of underwater military training. His understanding of her situation immediately shifted from curiosity about talented recreational swimmer to professional respect for combat veteran whose therapeutic recovery deserved privacy and support rather than publicity or competitive pressure that might interfere with healing process. Ms. Martinez, your military service record shows extensive special operations diving and combat swimming throughout multiple deployment theaters, including operations that remain classified, Thompson said during private meeting, his tone reflecting professional respect rather than casual curiosity. Your member file failed to document 12 years of Navy SEAL service and medical retirement following combat injuries sustained during underwater special operations missions. We're honored to support your recovery through our programs. Martinez's response reflected the discretion of someone whose combat diving experience had prepared her for recognition while maintaining privacy about medical issues that had forced transition from military service to civilian therapeutic swimming that required gradual healing rather than competitive pressure or public attention. Her careful response balanced acknowledgement of his professional respect with continued privacy about combat experiences that required ongoing medical treatment and psychological counseling that civilian community couldn't fully understand despite their best intentions. Coach, my Navy diving service included special operations missions and combat deployments supporting ground forces throughout multiple theaters where underwater capabilities enabled mission success. Martinez replied carefully, maintaining dignity while protecting privacy. When club membership became available, my military aquatic experience provided relevant background for fitness swimming while allowing continued aquatic training in supportive civilian environment that supports recovery goals rather than competitive pressure. The investigation that followed Martinez's recognition revealed administrative oversight that had failed to document her veteran status during membership registration, while her combat diving record explained her exceptional performance and comfort with challenging aquatic conditions that had exceeded normal civilian capabilities and attracted professional curiosity from coaching staff. Administrative review disclosed that membership application hadn't included veteran status verification, creating situation where combat decorated SEAL had enrolled as recreational swimmer without appropriate recognition of service background that deserved special consideration and support services. Club member Chun, whose own competitive experience included advanced technique training and master's level competition, approached Martinez with obvious professional respect for special operations diving that represented the highest traditions of military aquatic service and battlefield support during classified missions that exceeded civilian comprehension. Chin's response reflected understanding that Martinez's background represented service excellence that demanded respect rather than curiosity, while recognizing that therapeutic swimming provided recovery opportunity that deserved support from civilian athletic community. Elena, your special operations diving background and combat experience demonstrate continued dedication to aquatic excellence that honors military service while pursuing personal recovery goals. Chin said with genuine respect, her competitive background enabling her to appreciate the significance of Martinez's military achievements. Your transition to civilian swimming, while maintaining training discipline, honors your SEAL background and provides inspiration that enhances club training culture through example of dedication that exceeds normal civilian understanding. The ceremony that followed Martinez's recognition became teaching moment for entire athletic community, demonstrating how decorated combat veterans sometimes pursued civilian fitness while contributing military discipline and dedication that enhanced training effectiveness through unique understanding of aquatic excellence and psychological toughness developed through service that exceeded civilian comprehension. Club membership learned that Martinez's therapeutic swimming represented not recreational hobby, but continued service to personal excellence that honored military background, while supporting recovery from combat experiences that civilian community could respect without fully understanding. Ms. Martinez represents the kind of special operations experience that defines aquatic excellence and personal dedication that inspires everyone pursuing fitness goals. Coach Thompson announced during club meeting that acknowledged her diving service without compromising her privacy. Her Navy SEAL background and continued training demonstrate professionalism and expertise that inspire everyone pursuing aquatic fitness and competitive goals through example of service dedication that exceeds normal civilian understanding. The mentoring program that Martinez agreed to establish became legacy that enhanced club swimming knowledge while providing her with meaningful service that honored her special operations background by ensuring members received training that could prevent accidents during challenging swimming conditions while building community support for veteran transition programs. Her willingness to share technical knowledge without revealing classified operational details created educational opportunities that prepared civilian swimmers for aquatic situations where her battle-proven expertise could prove critical during actual water emergencies and challenging swimming conditions that exceeded normal pool environments. Her combat-tested aquatic expertise transformed club training procedures while creating educational opportunities that prepared swimmers for aquatic situations where her battle-proven knowledge could prove critical during actual water emergencies and challenging swimming conditions that required psychological toughness and technical precision developed through military service. Martinez's influence extended beyond swimming technique to include lessons about dedication, psychological resilience, and service commitment that inspired club members to approach their own training with greater seriousness and appreciation for personal excellence that honored her military sacrifice. Coach Thompson, realizing that his assessment of Martinez's potential had been based on incomplete information about her military diving service and combat experience, approached her with obvious professional respect and appreciation for capabilities he had failed to fully recognize despite his extensive coaching experience. His understanding shifted from viewing her as talented recreational swimmer to recognizing her as combat veteran whose therapeutic recovery deserved support and whose expertise could enhance club programs while honoring her service through continued excellence in civilian athletic environment. Elena, I owe you a formal apology for not recognizing your military diving service and special operations experience that represents pinnacle of aquatic training, Thompson said during private conversation, his tone reflecting genuine respect for her service sacrifice. Your SEAL background and aquatic expertise explain everything I didn't understand about your technique and comfort with challenging conditions. You were bringing classified operational knowledge to our club while maintaining the professionalism that characterizes special operations veterans transitioning to civilian life. Martinez used her recognition to establish veteran aquatic therapy programs that combined special operations experience with civilian wellness insights, creating assistance opportunities that help transitioning military divers find meaningful civilian activities while processing service experiences and medical challenges that accompanied combat diving careers and required community support. Her program development reflected understanding that veteran transition required community support and meaningful activities that honored military service while providing healing opportunities that civilian athletic programs could provide through appropriate sensitivity and professional respect. The most important lesson from tonight's challenge and the recognition that followed, Martinez explained during veteran transition workshops that became standard throughout Oceanview Athletic Club, is that special operations diving experience provides capabilities and psychological strength that continue serving community in civilian activities that honor military background while supporting personal recovery. Whether you're conducting combat missions or fitness swimming, service continues beyond military requirements and active duty status through personal excellence that inspires others. The club membership had provided Martinez with opportunity to heal while processing combat trauma that had challenged her psychological limits and forced career transition, demonstrating that exceptional veterans could contribute effectively in civilian environments while maintaining capabilities that exceeded normal recreational requirements and inspiring others through example of service dedication. Her therapeutic swimming program became model for veteran transition support that other athletic facilities adopted, creating a network of civilian programs that provided meaningful activities for transitioning military personnel while honoring their service through continued excellence and community support. Admiral Patricia Deep Anderson, visiting local veteran support programs for wellness assessment and program evaluation designed to identify effective civilian transition opportunities, had requested tour of civilian facilities that provided therapeutic opportunities for transitioning military personnel. When Coach Thompson introduced Martinez and explained her special operations diving background that had been recently discovered through night swimming challenge and verification process, Admiral Anderson's visit represented official military recognition of civilian programs that effectively supported veteran transition, while her personal interest in Martinez's case reflected understanding that SEAL transition required specialized support that civilian athletic communities could provide through appropriate programs. Ms. Martinez, your Navy SEAL service represents the pinnacle of military aquatic excellence and battlefield service that honors our nation's highest traditions, Admiral Anderson stated during facility visit, her tone reflecting official recognition of Martinez's service sacrifice. Your transition to civilian swimming while maintaining training discipline demonstrates continued dedication that honors your special operations background and provides invaluable inspiration that enhances veteran transition programs throughout our region. The Admiral's recognition of Martinez's special operations service created club-wide awareness of veteran contributions to civilian athletics, while her personal acknowledgement of therapeutic swimming approaches validated the healing methods that honored military service through continued excellence in aquatic activities that supported recovery from combat trauma. Official military recognition of Martinez's civilian transition success provided validation that her therapeutic approach represented an effective model for veteran recovery that could be replicated in other civilian athletic programs serving transitioning military personnel. Years later, when Martinez established comprehensive veteran aquatic therapy programs while maintaining club membership and coaching relationships that had supported her recovery, her story continued inspiring athletes who understood that true aquatic excellence often belonged to veterans whose special operations achievements exceeded their current civilian activities but continued serving others through example and mentorship. Her civilian transition had created lasting impact that extended beyond individual recovery to include community programs that served other transitioning veterans, demonstrating that military service continued through civilian activities that honored combat experience while providing meaningful contribution to community welfare. Her example reminded everyone that at Oceanview Athletic Club, as in all civilian athletic facilities serving diverse populations, the most exceptional capabilities often belonged to personnel whose combat service had been earned through missions where heroism meant successful completion of underwater operations under hostile fire rather than seeking recognition or competitive advancement opportunities that characterized normal athletic pursuits. The moment when Admiral Anderson recognized her SEAL service had lasted only minutes, but its impact continued for years, demonstrating that true aquatic excellence often remained hidden until circumstances revealed capabilities that transformed understanding of veteran dedication and special operations sacrifice that continued serving community through civilian excellence and therapeutic recovery programs. Her story became inspiration for other combat veterans struggling with transition challenges, proving that military service excellence could continue through civilian activities that honored combat experience, while providing healing opportunities that restored sense of purpose and community connection essential for successful transition from military to civilian life. This story was brought to you by Silent Salute, where we honor America's hidden heroes who continue serving in ways that civilian communities rarely recognize, until circumstances reveal the extraordinary service backgrounds that make their current contributions possible. Before we leave you today, here's our question. Have you ever discovered that someone's hidden military background revealed extraordinary special operations service that completely changed your understanding of their capabilities and continued dedication to excellence that honored their combat experience? Have you trained alongside veterans whose therapeutic activities masked combat experience while they served in civilian roles that seemed inconsistent with their military background but represented continued service to community welfare? Tell us in the comments about moments when hidden military service was revealed and transformed your perspective on someone's special operations experience and continued commitment to excellence that transcends competitive recognition. And if you believe that our most elite veterans often train without recognition while carrying skills that exceed civilian comprehension but continue inspiring others through dedication that honors their service sacrifice, hit that subscribe button to support our channel's mission of honoring those whose special operations courage continues inspiring others through activities that transcend military requirements while providing healing and community service opportunities. Nobody questions Martinez's swimming capabilities anymore. Not after Admiral Anderson recognized the SEAL training that revealed 12 years of classified underwater missions where her diving skills supported America's most critical operations in hostile waters that history will never fully record, but whose legacy continues through civilian service that honors combat sacrifice while inspiring others toward excellence that transcends competitive achievement and represents true service. Dedication that makes freedom possible.